Good afternoon. I'm Leticia Gonzalez, and this is my video for the Technology Enriched Listening and Speaking Lesson Plan, a portion of it. All right, class. So we just finished our objective discussion, and now we're going to move into our class activity. Together, we're going to create two lists, okay? But about what? What is it that we're gonna do, y'all, again? We just talked about it. What is it that? Yeah, thank you. We are going to be recording ourselves reading a passage out loud. Yeah. Now, before I have you all do that, since this is our first time trying this, I want us to come up with a list of things to do and a list of what not to do, okay? So, I have two videos to show you all. I'm gonna play one right now in a moment. What I want you to do is, I want you to determine, is it the good example or the bad example? Okay? Then I want you to find two things that stuck out to you. Two pieces of evidence, we'll say that, two pieces of evidence that support your claim of it being a good or a bad example of public speaking, okay? Any questions before you get started? No, you don't have to write it down, just keep it in your head. Though, if you feel like that you're gonna forget, you know you better than I know you, right? Like, if you know that you're gonna forget, write it down. That's totally cool, okay? Any other questions? All right, let me play the video. Video stopped. All right, y'all, so who can tell me thumbs up if you think it was the good example, thumbs down if you thought it was the bad example. What do you think? Seeing a lot of thumbs down. Yeah, you were correct. That was the bad example of public speaking. So how did you know it was the bad example? What stuck out to you? Okay? Yeah, the person wasn't ready. We saw that, right? So we saw that. Now, remember I said we're gonna create a list. So at the top I said don't do. How can we write that down so we can remember? And I wrote this one down. This is informal, okay? This is on purpose. I want you to remember. It sounds a little silly when I say it out loud, and it also helps me remember. So my first point is, what is it that you don't want to do? You don't want to get caught lacking. Don't get caught lacking. What does that mean? You don't want to be caught unprepared, right? That presenter, he was struggling. And then it was hard to pay attention because the presenter wasn't ready, right? So don't get caught lacking, okay? Now, I am creating this list. You don't have to write it down right now. I'm going to leave it up on the board, okay? So later on, I'll give you all time to write this down if you need, okay? Don't get caught lacking. Great. What's another thing you saw in the video that wasn't good, that you thought was taking away from the presentation? Okay. So there was a lot of words like so, okay, a lot of pauses. Okay, good. So let's take a pause there. Okay. So what do we want to write down? What was one of the things? Pauses. All right. So too many pauses. Why do you think the presenter was pausing so much? Why do you think that was? Maybe because they weren't ready, right? Maybe they didn't practice. Okay. And what that prompted me. What do we want to say about that? Avoid fillers. We want to avoid them. And that's what they're called. Avoid fillers. And then I'll put some examples like, so I have my list here, right? So some things to keep in mind, okay? So we'd go through the rest of that. We'd create our list until we can't come up with any more things. And then I might add a couple of things depending on what the students didn't get, that I want to make sure that they have present when they're recording. All right, class. So let's go on and let's look at a good example of public speaking. Okay, same thing. we already know this is the good one. So all you have to do now is find 2 pieces of evidence that support why this is a good example of public speaking. I'm gonna play the video, okay? Video is up. So, making a list again. This is my to-do list, things that we want to make sure we're focusing on and that we show in the video, okay? So, what is something? Okay, this presenter was excellent, right? Now, and if you're having some trouble, you can always look at the don't do list, right? Because chances are that this other speaker did the opposite. Okay, so right, if our first point was don't get caught lacking, what did this presenter do? Yes, this presenter was ready. They were prepared. So I'm gonna write that down. They were prepared. Now, so I wrote that down, prepared. Now, what makes somebody prepared? Like, can they just buy that at the store? Do you just have to wait at midnight to like get a new update in your brain? What do you gotta do? How are you prepared? I'm looking for a very specific word, starts with a P. Yes, you have to practice. Practice, practice, practice. I'm gonna write that down, okay? Some of you might be able to do this assignment in 1 take. Some of you might have to do it several times. That's okay. Before I come to class, I actually practice before you all get here. So that's okay. That's what public speakers do. Okay? Now, what else do we want to know about this other speaker? Yes, right. The speaker spoke at a good tempo, right? It had a good rhythm. So spoke at a, we'll say steady, right? This person wasn't speaking too fast. They also weren't speaking too slow. They were speaking at a good pace so that everybody could understand, right? So spoke at steady pace, okay? What else did the person have? Yeah, this person, thank you very much. I was wondering if one of you would catch that. This person was using index cards, was using notes, right? That's okay, that's not cheating, right? That's just helping yourself because you might get caught up in the moment. And so knowing that this person is prepared and they have index cards because you never know what's gonna happen in a presentation. So had note cards. Okay. All right, y'all. Anything else we want to add to our list? Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I almost forgot about that. Yes, good volume, right? The person's not shouting at us, right? And they're also not whispering so we can't hear them. They're projecting, which is a good thing. So they were projecting, and also, right, that also, one thing that I want to add is they were also really mindful of their pronunciation. Okay, so I have my list here. Now, it's gonna be, both lists are gonna be up here on the board, okay? What questions do you have? Comments, concerns? I see the fear in your eyes. Because y'all are about to start the next step of recording yourselves. Hey, don't worry about it, okay? I listen to all of you in the classroom, and y'all sound great, okay? So, you've got this. Let me show you how to get into the program so that you can record yourselves. Oops, actually, let me take that back. I need a volunteer to pass out the reading selection, okay? And I want you all to take a look at it, and then we'll go on to the next thing.